I mean, come on, people. I mean, come on. Moo. What a win. Let me tell you, people. Let me tell you, so much to enjoy. So much to enjoy from this game. Let's start with it. We'll go over a quick preview. Kade Povich, incredible. Kade Povich, absolutely unreal. Everything, and I mean everything you want to see from Kade Povich. Robo Wrestler, I agree. How can you not love baseball, baby? How can you not love baseball? Real quick, though, I got to make sure I get this link over to a special someone to come join this stream. But come on, man. How can you not be romantic about Baltimore Orioles baseball? Kade Povich goes, let me make sure I get it right, 6 innings, no earned runs. 6 innings, no earned runs. And the bigger thing to me, the thing that gets me going, let me unzip this a little bit. The thing that gets me going, 0 walks. 0 walks from Kade Povich. In the first game against Toronto, what was the big thing we talked about? We said, hey, Toronto couldn't hit Kade. He only gave up 2 balls over 95 miles per hour. And it was like, okay, if he can get more swings and misses, hit the zone a little bit more, turn those walks into some strikeouts, Kade Povich could be onto something. We were like, Kade Povich, he doesn't throw gas. He's not going to throw the fuzz. He hits about 92 to 94. But, oh my God, this dude nasty. Disgusting stuff from Kade Povich from the very start tonight. And so what does he do? After we asked him, hey, if we limit walks, we'll be good, bro. He said, how about no walks? How about not a single one? 6 innings, no walks, no runs. That's how you get it done. And my favorite part about it is there was about 2 or 3 times where Kade was in some trouble. Now, a lot of it was because there was some defensive miscues. Another error by the second baseman, this time Jorge Mateo. We had that weird ball drop in between Mountcastle. Was it O'Hearn's ball in the outfield? It's probably O'Hearn's, but he's playing over in the shift, and you know O'Hearn ain't running the best to get over to that. But doesn't matter how they got on. Povich, when the time was needed, they got men on first and second, no outs, and he got out of it. Like, there was just something, there was guts. That's the best way to put it. There was guts from Povich. At no point was he intimidated by this Braves lineup. Not once. He went out there, and from the very beginning, he was like, hey, I belong here. There was no nerves. There was no more of the nerves you kind of saw in Toronto where he was trying to, play around the zone, not really attack it. He was in full attack mode, and I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. I love this. Kade Povich and Max Fried. Now, I'm not going to call him Max Fried right now because even though the Orioles kind of got to Max Fried last night, Max Fried is a dog. Max Fried, when healthy, is as good of a left-handed pitcher as there is in this league. But when you compare Kade Povich and Max Fried, their overlays are creepishly similar. We got a few more people that are about to join me on screen here in a minute. Kevin got locked out of the server. Don't ask me how. There's something new every day, baby, on the post-game prom. So let's move on to the next part. Yes, Kade Povich, 6 innings pitched, but that's not where the game ended, nor was it where the game was won, unfortunately. Keegan Aiken does give up the 2-run home run to Matt Olson to tie the game in the 8th. And my God, what perfect timing. Matt Olson ties the game in the top of the 8th, 2-2. And I'm going to bring my next guest, let's bring him on. Jason, do you mind telling me what happened in the bottom half of the
8th? The milkman delivered.
I love it. Colton Cowser, 2-run homer, brought in for defense, Jason, and decided, hey, how about I just end this with the bat as well? I can't even imagine what your mentions looked like. What was going through your mind when that home run happened?
I saw it go off the bat, and at first I didn't know if it was gone. Because again, It's center field, right? It's got to go to get there. But actually, the first person I saw was Gunner. And when they showed Gunner, I knew it was gone. And sure enough, sneaks over and wins the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still, as we're talking, I'm getting blown up from every which direction. So
I just, that was one of those moments where it happened, and you had started to see over the past few games, Cowser had started to put together, like, the at bat. When you looked at his May, on the surface, the numbers weren't great, but his expected batting average, his velo, like all of his metrics were up from his insane April. So everyone knew it was just a matter of time before he started to get the confidence back, started to get some more luck going his way. Because, man, did it feel like anything that could go against someone, it was going against Colton Cowser. We saw the same thing with Cedric Mullins. We'll get into him in a second. But, man, Colton Cowser comes in, massive moment, and the milkman goes moo. Oh, man, I'm so excited. We have another friend who figured out how to get into the StreamYard. So I'm super hyped for him.
wow.
Kevin, how we doing?
Kevin.
Oh, that was an experience. First of all, shout out Colton Cowser. Obviously, I'm sure you guys have already talked about it. But if that had happened last night, I don't even know what the reaction would have been. So,
Baltimore, there would have been an earthquake in Baltimore last night.
Yeah. My story is try to log in. So my computer freaked out on me last night when I was trying to put together my show and reset everything, and then I realized I had been locked out of StreamYard. And I tried to log in using Ryan's stuff, and I was in the wrong StreamYard. And so I had to get another code, and now I'm here. But we do have a couple of props. The one we used last night, we'll start off with that. Got our udders going on. Actually, one udder for every run the Orioles scored. So, actually, you weren't here for this, Zach. Someone, I think it was Alex, told me to suck on the udders, which I did not do.
Last night at the pasture, when Colton first came up, there was a milk those udders chant that broke out at the pasture, and I just remember looking around. I was like, I don't think we go back to that one, people.
Nope.
I was like, I think that one happened, and we were all like, yeah, probably shouldn't chant like that. It was good.
Yeah, there he is. There he is. He wants it. He wants it. Gee, all right, now we're getting a little crazy. But I had to get a second one though.
Oh, I love it. Dual cows, one for each run that cows are.
Exactly.
Wait, so follow-up question though, did you get that today?
No, I've had these.
Oh, I thought you just went and bought a cow.
No.
Go buy more of those, Kevin.
I get very creative with the props. Like I go with what I have here. So that's why sometimes when I don't have a prop, we just do grocery store hauls. And that's kind of what we do. So got the dueling cows with the 4 udder milk jug tonight for the props.
Absolutely. And Kevin, I'm just gonna acknowledge the elephant in the room. If there's a win tomorrow, that's 7 straight and 2 sweeps. Do we do 7 pickles? Like, I will do something as well, but I think you have to do 7.
I mean,
pickles.
Someone told me I have to up the ante. Like, that might be something I have to go out and get. But the issue is the game's at 1 tomorrow.
Right.
So we might have to do an in-studio post-game show, which
we're doing.
I guess it's honestly not an issue, but I'm gonna have to up the ante, I guess.
Yeah,
look, if the Orioles, if the correlation between the Orioles sweeping teams is me eating spicy pickles, then I will eat all the spicy pickles in the world. All right, I will take it for the team. So
yeah, and I do want to bring this up. Hold up, someone. This is where did I just? Does everyone remember when Jorge Lopez was traded for Kade Povich and Yennier Cano, and people freaked out that the Orioles got an F for that trade.
Yep.
They got an F for that trade. People said we were fleeced.
Yeah, I don't know the reason that this might have been brought up. I don't know if this was the reason, but sometimes whenever Yennier Cano has a crazy good outing, or obviously with Povich now, the trade graphic, like the tweet of the Twins saying, "Hey, we acquired Jorge Lopez," putting the prospect breakdown that popped up again tonight. And so I looked through all the comments in the quotes, and it was all these Twins fans saying, "Oh, if you put enough random guys together, a team will just accept the trade." Or I know we didn't get any high profile guys or any good. And look where we are now. I don't even think Jorge Lopez lasted after that year in Minnesota, did he? He spent half the year there and then went to Miami or something, right? And then now we have in Baltimore 2 ballers who, by the way, Kade Povich, much like the pasture stats we were racking off last night in terms of the Orioles are undefeated when the pasture happens and no runs were ever scored at the pasture. Well, guess what? Kade Povich is not allowed to run. He can't in yards. Never in his career, ever. So there you go.
Dude, Kade Povich got me fired up. I'll get your 2 opinions on this too, because I kind of went over it while I was just kind of yapping to myself. We said we just want him to limit the walks. Limit the walks, none tonight. Absolute dog. But I was saying before, there was situations where it was not easy. It wasn't like he was having clean inning after clean inning. There was first and second, no outs. There were guys on the corners, 2 outs. There were times where Kade Povich had to make a pitch against a very good player, against a Matt Olson, against a why am I blanking on the catcher's name? Murphy. Yeah, Sean Murphy. I always think of him and Sean Murphy Bunting, who have the same first 2 names, but Bunting, obviously. And Sean Murphy Bunting as a cornerback in the NFL.
Different sports, but yeah.
Did I ever say they were relevant? Why I confused them, Kevin? No.
No. Are you gaslighting me into saying that I said that?
Yes, I am. Yes,
well,
Kevin,
at least you admit it.
Yeah.
Children.
I know. We're already getting out of hand.
Jason's our heel cinnamon guy. Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go 1 up, 1 down. One thing you loved, one thing you didn't like. I think we all probably have the same 1 down, but I'll just start with it. That home run ball by Keegan Aiken was not ideal. Not ideal. Yeah, I decided that's all I'm going to say about it. Because after Orioles have won 6 straight, why would I harp on 1 pitch? Why would I harp on 1 pitch? They scored. My 1 up, I'm not going to take the obvious one. My 1 up again is going to be Cedric Mullins. 2 for 3. Double and a single. Don't let him get hot. And what's more impressive is, he had the line drive down the right field line for the double. For the first time, I think in like 9 months, we saw Cedric Mullins miss the ball and somehow it found grass. Like he just kind of tipped it away and it just found open grass. And like usually he's hitting 100-mile-an-hour balls right at people. He's having diving plays against him. He's just getting highlight reel after highlight reel against him. If Ced starts getting lucky, we always say it. Rip says it best. It only takes 1. Well, he's had a few more now, and you feel the confidence start getting back. And if that confidence gets back, we already saw what's happening with Austin Hayes. Another hit tonight, gets the double. People gave up on the veterans, but if they start getting hot, do not underestimate how good this team can be because of them. Jason, what you got next?
Yeah, I'll start with my 1 down, and I'm going to use it kind of as a pun. My 1 down is Nick Vespi, because I think at this point I don't know what else this dude has to do to get a shot to be middle relief. So
I think he just lucked his way into it because he's out of options now. He can't be sent down anymore.
Oh, is he out of options now?
But for this year, they've already sent him down the max amount of 5. They've already sent him down 5 times.
Yeah,
and he hasn't pitched in I think 2 of those times that he was up. Like it's crazy.
Wow.
So it's not like, again, they won the game. It's great, but every time Nick Vespi steps on the mound at Camden Yards, he seems to do his job, and I don't know what it's going to take for him to get the chance to do that for the rest of the year. So that's my 1 down. My 1 up. You know what? I'm not going to take the obvious one either, even though I should, of all people. But
I was going to say I kind of.
Yeah, I think we'd give you the pass if you wanted to.
Because my other one, which I don't know if we'll talk about this in general, but Adley Rutschman's pitch framing seems to be back. Because it was not as good as it has been earlier in the season, but it just seems like now he is getting the calls. And granted, the umpiring hasn't been fantastic, but it seems like he's getting the calls that he wasn't able to get early on in the year. And I don't have any stats to back that up right now. That's just these two eyes with this pair of glasses here. But it just seems like he's found a way to get the pitches on the corners that he hasn't gotten in April and May.
Yeah. Oh, okay. My turn.
Yeah.
My one down. Look, Gunnar had an incredible defensive play. Zach, I think what'd you say? It was a PhD in web gemology or whatever.
Yeah, he's got a PhD in web gemology.
Web gemology.
In the comments, if you know what that is in reference to, put it.
Okay.
Put it
Well, you're asking the king of not knowing references what a reference.
Well, no, I know you won't, but I want to see if anyone in the
Okay.
comments knows where he's got a PhD in web gemology comes from.
Yeah.
I'm watching the comments to see if anyone.
I don't know.
All right. So, but again, I think we've seen a couple defensive miscues over the course of the last week, 2 weeks or so. And to me, like Gunnar does, steady that all out. But I think for me, the Orioles had another error tonight. We all know.
Yeah.
So I think to me my one down is probably some of those defensive miscues. But my one up is, again, you could go
I knew this
Povich.
stuff was coming.
Oh,
One down, Ryan Baker was warming in the pool.
Just a warming. We all kind of did know, but honestly, I'm gonna give my one up to the entire Orioles lineup tonight. Everybody was getting on base. I mean, everybody was getting on. I think only
O'Hearn and
O'Hearn didn't get on base.
Oh,
right?
Rutschman got the walk, but yeah.
Right.
And then
got
if we
on.
want to just get a little more specific, a little more by the book, O'Hearn was replaced by Cowser, who hit the go-ahead home run. So that's
every spot in the lineup.
That fourth spot, every spot in the lineup got on.
Look at that. We talk about that all the time, right? Consistency of getting guys on base. Don't rely. Look, Cowser had a 2-run shot tonight, right? They had that home run was what won them the game. But I'm not going to say, the Orioles scored half their runs on a homer. I'm not going to do that tonight because everybody was getting on base. And although I know we can talk about runners in scoring position and getting guys on base, bringing them around, I like the fact that everybody was getting involved and getting on base. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go there.
Look, none of us took the obvious one. Look at that.
Because I think it was just we're all here. I'm wearing a cow suit, all this stuff. Also, we want to bring up Mark. Really appreciate you. Says O's fan since 1980 and watch every night from Tennessee. Let's go O's.
Appreciate you, Mark.
Really appreciate Mark, and that's why we love doing this every night because it's fun to interact with you guys. It's fun when the O's win, especially, and then when we lose, we kind of break it down for a little bit, and then we just try to get the vibes back. So that's why we enjoy this so much. Ryan might be joining on a lot of them, but right now I do know he's in a meeting. So even though it's 9:30 at night, he's talking on something.
Yeah, I feel bad because I didn't know that. I knew he had something at 8. I didn't know it extended past 8:30 or 9 or whatever. So I was
and then there's
Ryan, what's the streamer code? What's the streamer code? What's the streamer code?
Then
here I go. Here's part of our conversation. I say, wait, I'm in the wrong StreamYard. He goes, good God, Kevin.
Appreciate you, just another quantum, and love it. I know, Jason, you were a big fan of this.
Yep.
Incredible.
Yep.
Do we know all the faces on that tie?
It's every position player who's eligible to be an all-star. That's
okay.
That's who's on there. It's every position player who's eligible to be on the all-star team.
All right, I'm pulling up the video from your Twitter, Jason. So
because I just thought not only is the tie immaculate, but then Mike Elias is the one wearing. I mean, if it was Uncle David, that's a different story because that man.
Oh God, I'm about to get eviscerated.
He wears a tie every day, but for Mike to be wearing that tie, that's just the vibes have changed so much.
Well, speaking of We know Kevin could get in the StreamYard, but we know one person who got in pretty well. Welcome to the stage, Ryan Rifkin. Ryan, how's it going?
Hey guys, good to see you.
Hey, buddy.
How are we, Kevin?
Yeah, Yep. Lay it on me. What do you got?
Nothing.
I know
Nothing.
we had a fun extravaganza earlier, didn't we? Trying to figure out my StreamYard.
It was great. I was on a seminar talking about baseball, which was great, and for the player development. And my phone's getting blown up because a certain Kevin Ostriker, toe striker, automatopoeia, whatever, cannot figure out how to get back in to the StreamYard.
I didn't realize it extended past 8:30 or 9. I thought it was over, so I apologize.
Well, it's okay. The Orioles won. All's good. And you're somewhat forgiven, Kevin. You're a good kid. But what have I missed, guys? What have we talked about? This team's terrible.
Yeah, we have to sell everyone.
Okay. So
Everyone's
it's right. I'm
available
right on
for
time.
trade. Yeah,
Right on time.
everyone's available for trade. How about we actually just did things we love. We're talking about Cedric Mullins. Something I loved was it felt like I said, yeah, the double down the line, hard hit ball down the line. That's cool. But for the first time in what feels like a year, Cedric Mullins got a ball that he barely got, just kind of hacked at it and gets a little dead duck over into left field. For the first time ever, it feels like he's gotten a lucky break to go his way. And like you say, sometimes that you only need one.
You just need one. And yeah, I know apparently I need to sniff Cedric's socks is what I've been told about. But I'll tell you what, if that would have done the job when I was playing, you're damn right. I'd do it for myself. I'd do it for Seti, but he didn't need that. That was a little extreme, whatever that comment was. But sure, if someone wants Cedric's socks, I'll get you a pair. I'll text them. But what I love it. This guy has not had any breaks go his way. And for a player that's so talented, you can see the frustration when it was happening. And this is the reality of it. Let's walk through this for a second. Baseball's hard. It's really damn hard. You're going to fail. So imagine when you do things correctly and you're still not getting the breaks. And then you have the moments where you fail. That was the combination for Cedric Mullins for the longest time. Do what you're supposed to do at the plate, make great contact, not be rewarded, not have anything fall in. And then you have the failure where you're going to be out on top of it, right? And so finally one drops in. He has the great double. That's 2 knocks. Go back to that game in Tampa Bay where it started to get things going a little bit. It's great. And guess what? The Orioles are going to need him just like they need Austin Hayes. Aren't you glad the Orioles kept him on the roster? Blasphemy that you're going to take off a guy from the team. Unbelievable. Sorry, I get worked up on this topic.
I was just about to say, remember when we needed Austin Hayes out of this organization, and now over the last 7 games, he's batting .421 with 8 hits, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. I mean, we've said it before. Austin Hayes, don't know what it is. Some guys are just like this. He always seems to start off the year a little slower. This year, there were some injuries, there was some illness, comes back off the IL, and talk about a completely different human, a completely different player than we saw before the IL trip, and he looks like Austin Hayes again. And you love to see it, and especially you love seeing him move around in the outfield again because he's one of the most electrifying. We talk about Cedric Mullins being fun out there. Austin Hayes in that cannon, when he's going well, he is just as fun to have out there. So having him hitting again is just such a bonus for this team.
Yeah, I mean, but this is the thing, too, where veteran players, and I've told this before, like, I know a lot of people look at this and go, man, Ryan, you're just optimistic. You're just a pawn of the Orioles organization. No, and you know what? Probably, right? They're paying me to say this, right? Wrong. The thing is, what grinds my gears, I know how hard it is. And when I look at a guy and I can look at the body of work, and for Cedric to finish with that, apples and oranges, you want to compare his 23 to 24 season. If you were to say so far this year, it's been a hard stretch, no problem saying that. Even though been tough breaks, the reality is, or the results there, they hadn't been. Do I believe in Cedric Mullins? Absolutely. a 2023 Cedric Mullins that was hurt, and you can go back and look at the date where he kind of deteriorated, multiple injuries, didn't play well through those injuries. That's a fact. Austin Hayes, and healthy Austin Hayes has averaged 18 home runs and 30 doubles for the last 3 seasons. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to take the chance that a guy that's proven that is going to get back. Is it going to be the way that you hoped, all-star caliber Austin Hayes? I don't know. But do I believe that you're going to get a caliber player that can show you what he can do? Absolutely. Tony Taters, a guy that's struggling. Am I going to trust the guy that's averaged 30 jacks the last 2 seasons? You're damn right. And a guy right now that's starting to pick it up. So when you look around baseball, the level of success has changed. No longer are we going to see guys that are hitting 300 plus and doing all these unbelievable stats. I mean, hell, Gunnar Henderson is on a different world and he's still not hitting 300.
Yeah.
So context matters here. It's just, can the pieces sum up to lead to something great? And the Orioles are winning games because they have a great sum of pieces that collectively make this thing go. And right now, the guys that had struggled for a while, Jason, shout out the pastor, by the way, and shout out Cowser going deep tonight. Cal had his struggles, comes through in a big way. Austin Hayes started to pick it up. Ryan O'Hearn is just Ryan O'Hearn. Point being, there's so many Orioles that make things happen, if that makes sense. And I'm just not that type of guy that's going to sit here and derail players that I think have so much value to this Baltimore Orioles team.
Well, I don't know if you guys. No, I don't know if you guys saw. Speaking on that same level of superstition and all, but now that the pasture's over, Cowser can start hitting again. I don't know if you guys saw that on Twitter, but that's so now that the pasture's over, Cowser's out of his slump, or at least that's what I've been told. So
it was all the pasture. That was why he was struggling.
Right.
Kevin, what were you gonna say before I?
I was just, no one in baseball has ever gone a full 162 games and gone 2 for 3 or 1 for 3 every single game. There are going to be struggles. I saw a couple comments about it. Jeremy ended up saying struggling is just a part of baseball. And Ryan, that's something that you talk about all the time. Baseball's hard. It's one of your most popular lines about how even when guys are in slumps, it's about finding ways to get them out of it. When we had that whole Craig Kimbrell discussion, how long ago even was that? A month and a half ago? Feels like forever, but it was about finding ways to get him back. You put him in the 7th inning, put him in the 11th, and then get him back. So for a guy like Mullins, who, yes, we can acknowledge the hitting hasn't been great this year, but he's also been that weak stretch a couple weeks ago of him just getting extremely unlucky, guys diving for balls and hitting really good contact and line out right to the center fielder. Like, that stuff happens, but I was happy to see him get back, and he's had a couple of little breakthroughs over the last couple of games. Hopefully he can continue.
Yeah. I mean, look, I lost for words sometimes, guys, because I try to put the thoughts together. I guess looking at it, struggles, baseball, and let me get a little philosophical here. Where the hell are my glasses? They're back here somewhere. Threw them back here. Baseball is a great way to kind of compare with things with life, right? So failure is guaranteed. And in life, how many times have you been told, or things didn't work out, or how many times have you been doubted, you've been rejected, and how many times have maybe you felt at your lowest low, right? But for the most case, you have people that believe in you, and then you got to try to work yourself out. And a lot of people that are there for you are going to help you get back to the good times, right? And especially if they believe in what you're doing. And so in baseball, it's the same concept, is that some of these players, they have to deal with the struggles and then also have to deal with that a lot of people want to move on from them. And there's a lot of negativity. But how do you keep guys from falling off the face of the earth with that and feeling like, and bring them up to feel like they can make a difference? And for these are professional athletes at the highest level, Zach, like this. Yeah. But they're humans first. I mean, we just had Connor Norby on here, and he was very open talking about it. We've had Colton Cowser on here. We've had Jordan Westberg. And maybe I speak on this, and actually just talked about this on the seminar we did with I got to join and listen to with Dante and Joe Girardi. and just talking about how just hard things can be. And I'm not trying to be a therapist. Maybe I should be a therapist, but that's why I have so much faith with these guys is I know what it feels like to suck, but I know what it looks like to see guys that have success. And I wouldn't lie to the Orioles fan base here if I didn't believe in what I've seen. So I think that's the part of it you got to look through. There's just so many more different angles you can look at besides just looking at what are you doing for me in a month? What are you doing for me in 6 weeks? Well, no, it's if they're talented players, I got to ride. Hyde did the best thing by saying, I'm going to give Cedric Mullins at bats. I'm going to keep giving him at bats. And guess what? I think the time's coming that Cedric Mullins is going to get it back on track.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about struggling and how baseball is such an animal just from the mental aspect. Let's throw out all the MLB players, all the guys in the majors that we've talked to. How about Greg Olson, one of the best tight ends in all of the 2010s in the entire NFL? We sat down, Ryan, you talked with him, and one of the most interesting things he talked about was he was like, yeah, I couldn't play baseball. He was like, mentally, I couldn't get past the fact that I am going to fail at least 7 out of 10 times. He was like, that wasn't in it for him. He said mentally that he couldn't beat that aspect of the game. And he had so much respect for baseball players because he's like, I don't know how, like, if he, as he said, if he catches only 3 out of 10 targets, he's not getting any more targets. He's not going to be on the team the next week. So for him to come out and be like, hey, I know I'm one of the best athletes. I've had this long career. I'm now one of the best broadcasters in the game, but I couldn't do what they do in the MLB, not because of skill, but because of the mental side of going out there and failing can really wear on you and just completely change how you play the game. So it's not just baseball players who understand that aspect of the game. It's all these professional athletes are like, hey, in baseball, biggest part is mental.
Yeah, mental. It's every sport has it, but baseball is the one where you're constantly tested on it day in and day out. There's no doubt about it. Want to make this point here. If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. And I don't know if you guys talked about this. I've gotten a lot of heat here, and Jason, you've probably seen it. Apparently, Ryan Ripken doesn't do the Ryan Ripken show anymore, and I just really I started something because I just wanted to start something, and I despise doing this. Right? No, I was away, was with my family, specifically shout out my mother. Had a great time with her. Something that was planned for years in advance. It just happened to fall over this time before the Ryan Ripken media was developed. But guys, I think it's fair to say Kevin and Zach here have created something. If you get, it's called the prom or the post game. It is a part of the Ryan Ripken media show umbrella, but it's developed its own name because I don't know if I want to give whatever the hell Kevin does the Ryan Ripken show.
You know you want to be attached to it.
No, well, it is attached because you're under the umbrella, Kevin. The umbrella.
So then why wouldn't you want it to be under the umbrella?
No, but I think it confuses people when they're like, yeah, it's under the umbrella, Kevin. But I think it confuses people when they're like, oh, it's the Ryan Ripken show. I'm like, well, no, the prom with Kevin is him showing his feet. No, you should be the one sniffing Cedric's socks. Okay, then you should be the one.
I didn't do any sniffing. I just show him off.
Well, if Ced gets 4 hits tomorrow,
which, by the way, stay tuned. Stay tuned for the socks of the day tomorrow. I got something special coming up.
Okay, it's exactly for the reason. So
Ryan, I'm so sorry. While you were gone, I tried.
I know you
failed.
did.
I tried.
I know you did.
I did. This is an on-camera apology because I tried and it did not work. I'm sorry.
It did, and you know, I appreciate that. I do, and I appreciate this, Eli. Thank you very much.
Eli.
The question is for Ryan. Why did Aiken get the W instead of Povich? Who or what decides who gets the win? So in this case, Aiken, even though he gave up the runs, he was the pitcher that was still technically in the game when the Orioles retook the lead. So at the moment when Povich was pitching, if we go back, it's 2-0. As soon as the Braves tie it up, Povich is no longer able to win the game. It now then the decision goes to whoever's left in the game. So at that point, Aiken, despite giving up the runs, the Orioles got the lead back while he was still registered in the game. So if that makes sense, hence that's why he gets the win. And I know you guys talked about Kade Povich earlier. Shirts and pants, man. Great outing. Biggest thing I love, the guy didn't walk anybody. That was the biggest thing. That's the biggest reason why he gave up runs to me last week against the Blue Jays. So tremendous outing from him. Just goes to show you.
Real quick, I do want to talk about this because of this comment. I know everyone's giving Aiken a lot of crap and all of this. And yes, he hung a pitch, but Matt Olson has been doing this against the best of the best.
He's so damn
for the
good.
past 5 years. If it was to some when we saw Corbin Burns give up a home run to a guy who is career .043, those are the ones where you're like, how does this happen? If Matt Olson ties the game on a moonshot, Matt Olson came out the womb hitting moonshots. That's what that guy does. He is a damn good baseball player. And for a while, the past 2 years, he's even been MVP conversations at times. This is not a slouch that went out there and went yard. That is, I love it. Dude hit 54 home runs last year. It's gonna happen. It's bound to happen.
Yeah, that's one of those. Other teams have good players too, and sometimes they do good player things.
Dude, I played against Matt Olson, or we were in the Under Armour All-American game together in 2011, going to 2012, both going into our senior years. We were the same draft class. The dude was just as big now as he was then, and he could still hit the ball a mile. So a super talented player where if you leave it in a sweet spot and he can get extended and be able to do the damage, you see what happens. There's a reason why the Braves are still a really damn good team. They're underperforming offensively for their metrics or for their team's sake, but really talented squad, right? Matt Olson, if I check the notes, he's just a really damn good player. And shout out to him right there.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we got a donation. Kevin's laptop fund. And shout Jeff Arnold singing the national anthem. We're gonna
shout out Jeff. Shout out to Jeff. We actually are up to, I'm keeping track, $55. Or no, sorry, $57
for Banksy's third leg.
For Banksy's
fourth leg.
No, fourth. Yeah, he has 3 legs. Give him some credit, all right? He has 3 legs.
And then I have $10 in my
yes, so I'm at $57.50 and Zach is at $10.
What is it for?
Your vacation fund and your
no, it's for my kidney replacement or something. My liver replacement.
Ryan, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, people are paying to replace my liver, Ryan. It's been
I'm hearing this. But you know what? Hey, Jason, and now so people hear this again, I will be on for some of these post-game streams. It's just trying to navigate what's happening. But as we grow the Ryan Ripken Media channel, I want people to know this here. The post games are going to continue to be a occurring thing, right? So Jason, you don't have to apologize then. Now, if it gets too crazy, then yes, you will have to, help try to keep the group in check here. But Kevin and Zach, as we know, who knows, maybe this thing is called the post game prom. We'll figure that out in the branding. But for those that want to know this, the Ryan Ripken Show, we're going to consistently do on Monday and Thursday. So tomorrow we have a show coming up. We'll be after the game. And actually, I don't think there will be a post game just because of the day. So consider the Ryan Ripken Show. We'll be talking about the game during the show a little bit. So, but overall, you'll see Kevin doing Lord knows what.
If they sweep, it will be Lord knows what. I do not know what it is going to be yet. But I have presents for everybody.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about this.
My dad, Ryan, I don't think you heard this. My dad, we went to Ellicott City over the weekend, and there were these very crazy sodas just in a store. And so he got each of us a crazy soda flavor. But
yeah, we're going to get wild.
Yeah. So I'll gift whoever's in studio tomorrow. I'll gift them. I don't know if Rocco's gonna. I don't know. Rocco won't be there, and Brad I don't think will be there.
Rocco only shows up to the studio once every 3 months.
Right.
Yes.
Recurring.
And they get distracted.
It's nice to see Rocco every once in a while.
Yeah, it is.
Although
Also,
not the Flash, currently.
Aviator. All hail the creation of Ryan Ripken Media Empire. Also,
6750. Let's go.
Banksy only having three legs might be the most profitable thing Kevin has done.
I know. Well, I'm trying to get a TikTok going for Banksy. So
It's like that. It's like
in
that
the
commercial with the Sarah McLachlan song.
Yes. Oh my God.
yeah.
We just have Banksy singing for just $3 a day. You can get Banksy a new leg.
Although the joke is I pocket the money and go get Gucci.
Go get Gucci.
That was your thing, Zach.
You're ridiculous. Hey, you know what? I'm seeing something right now. Kade Povich with that. Maybe that's the breakdown tomorrow. Do we look at his first two starts and really talk about what really worked and what didn't? I think that might be it, Marcus. That might be what we can do. I can talk to some people and to give you guys a little preview for those that are tuning in right now. And again, hit that like and subscribe button. We are going to talk about a lot of things Orioles related tomorrow on the regular show, but we also are going to talk a little bit more about the Baltimore, Maryland region. That's what we do here on the Ryan Ripken show. We're naming it, and shout out Joe. I think it's going to be the post game prom or post something
Joe,
like that.
The after prom.
After prom. That could be the biggest thing.
The after prom.
Things get crazy at the after prom. You already know the vibes.
I kind of like that. That might be the thing.
That's terrifying. And then Jason's just there along for the ride. You know, Lord help you, Jason. But we'll have a lot more going with that. And obviously, when the Ravens pick up, we're gonna have more and more conversations there. Really working on the rebranding, but I'm gonna make sure we continue to have the breakdowns continuing on. I know that's a big conversation, but Povich, obviously the biggest thing today was the walks. We talked about that. I know people are wondering about Dean Kramer, but tomorrow, one thing. We've had a lot of talks about down on the farm, and maybe we're going to have someone that can give us some more context on down on the farm here. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. I'm trying to think about what else I'm going to talk about tomorrow, but what I'm talking about, I'm trying to see if there's anything else right now. I see a lot of people talking about Dean Kramer coming back and what that could entail.
I think he's going on a rehab assignment. They said a few days ago.
Okay, I'm going to text him.
That was the latest update.
Yeah, that was the latest. Was they think after he threw bullpens that he's going to do a rehab before he comes back up.
All right, I'll just text Dean and I'll figure that out.
Just let us know.
Yeah, I can let you know about that.
And I'm interested, I will say, to see what happens tomorrow, solely because Kade Povich obviously will not be pitching for 5 more days. And the Orioles have 7 guys in the bullpen and is not necessarily the most rested at the moment. So we'll see. I would hate to see him go down after the past 2 starts. I think both have been great. I think his stuff has been awesome. But it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens with that bullpen if they stick with the shorthand or go make a move somewhere in the organization to bring someone up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Felix Bautista throwing 80. I think he hit like 82 today. Like first time. If I could hit 82 at any point in my life, I would be hyped. And he is like throwing 50%, just touching 82.
Yeah,
it helps.
He's playing soft toss.
Yeah.
It helps when you're 6'8", 6'9", 285, being generous there, and he just throws, and you throw absolute fuzzballs, which Felix does.
Yeah.
You know, and it's exactly the same stature that Kevin is in his dreams.
Yeah, but I know. I would know what that's like. I would know what being 6'8" is like. I live it every day.
Could you twist someone into a pretzel?
Oh goodness!
I
don't even
me,
know.
Jason. No.
I don't even know how that all started again.
But I think we did a pretty good job. A nice little another after prom in the books. How any final
This is not a viable. That's not viable.
This is true. It is kind of just 2 Kevins standing on top of each other make Felix Bautista.
I am not 3-4.
No, but I'm talking like, okay, maybe you on your shoulders, like sitting on your shoulders.
What?
How short do you think my shoulders are?
No, not very. They're pretty short.
But I'm thinking your shoulders.
They're broad.
That doesn't have
here.
That's width.
Well,
Yeah.
my
But that's-
shoulders to my head, and plus I got the hair. By the way, I might be getting a haircut soon, but my hair,
Thank you for letting
the
us know.
poofiness gives me
Yeah.
height.
Are you measured with your hair, Poofy?
Have I tried that trick at the doctor before? That's a story for another time.
Jesus Christ. We have a story. We can
do.
finally tell the
Brad
story
made me save a
tomorrow.
story, Ryan, about rabies for the show.
All Kevin keeps telling us is he has a personal story about rabies, and we said he has to save it for when everyone's on the show.
Yeah.
So glad I'm back. But in all honesty, I am glad I'm back, and we'll get this thing rocking and rolling. And last thing on the way out here, I just saw a comment. That's kind of fun one right here. Who would be the first position player to hop on the mound if needed? It's hard when it's not Stevie Wilkerson, by the way.
Chris Davis.
I think we all know who it is because he just threw a bullpen in Tampa.
Yeah.
So
No, but I think it is. If we're going current guys right now, I think it's Stowers, isn't it? I think there was someone a player was talking about how Stowers like used to pitch and like he can actually
Nev
on the mound a little.
Nevin was talking about that. It was on the Breaking Bats. I did that interview with Justin, one of the hosts there for Breaking Bats with Nevin, talking about Stowie. But I could see a guy. I see some comments. James McCann, could definitely see McCann get out there, light it up. Yeah, my guess would be McCann.
Yeah.
Didn't he already did, right? Last year?
Yeah.
He did.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be you know what? I don't want to see it. I do want to see it, but only if the Orioles are winning by so much or they're losing by so much.
Hopefully we're on.
If the Orioles are winning, that's a vibes thing. If the Orioles are winning and the position player comes in, that's a vibes thing.
Yeah, they won't.
Not to rein it back into baseball, but we might see a position player pitching for the Yankees tonight. The way that looks right now. So
yeah.
What is the score right now? I'm trying to look it up. Oh, it's only 11-2 New York. Okay. The Yankees are good, guys. They're stinking good, man. Good for them, bad for the O's, but honestly, I love it. Let them keep winning games, and the Orioles keep doing what they're supposed to do. It's actually, guys, the closest division race is the Orioles and the Yankees right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think then the second one is what? The Royals and the Guardians, I believe, is the next closest one. Yeah, looking at it right now, 5 games back are the Kansas City Royals from the Guardians. The Rangers sit 6.5 back from the Mariners. Milwaukee's 7 up on the Cubs, Reds, and Pirates. The Phillies are 10.5 up on the Braves. And the Dodgers are 7 games up on the Padres, and the Orioles are only 2 games at the moment. It will be 2.5 back of the Yankees. It's the closest division race right now on June 12th. Shirts and pants, man.
Don't count them out. The Chicago White Sox are only 19 games out of a wild card spot. Do not let the Fighting Gavin Sheets get hot.
Gavin Sheets will bring them back.
Do not see Gaffy to Granny the other night. Was happy
that was
for him.
Electric. That was electric.
So
I saw the highlight. I just see a White Sox player hit a grand slam, and I was like, wait a second, that was a lefty. And I was like, there's no way. And I went back. I was like, oh, there's Gavin.
Yeah, good kid.
Got all of that one. But yes.
But great. So we are rebranding again. Consider this the after prom, whatever it's going to be called. The Ryan Ripken Show will be on regular schedules. And obviously then our correspondent, our do-it-all, Jason Benowitz, is going to be on the scenes on both shows, I'm sure. And he will have to be kind of the voice of reason to an extent here on the after prom programs. I think that's it. And also, Jason, again, I shout out the message, but amazing what you did with the pasture. I'm bummed I had to miss it getting back. But I'm sure that I will be involved with whatever you're cooking up next. So stay tuned on that. I'm sure I know you got some things scheming that I can't wait to hear. You got working behind the scenes.
Yeah, had a couple conversations today. So We'll see.
Oh, baby.
Hey now.
Let's do it.
Hey now. All right. And the last thing, rolling with Rock as well. Community, we have it in the Discord. It's a great group, and that's not us just saying because my name's on it. It's actually the people in the group that make it the best. And Kevin, look at you one time at the one time. Have you even watched them? I watched Austin Powers 1 and 2 on the way back from
when my brother was 3 years old. My parents were showing him Austin Powers. Ryan, he had his very same trajectory with you and what you experienced and your love for Austin Powers. So I was watching Austin Powers. Now I haven't watched it in a while.
You don't even know the thing. So my point is, you have no idea what happens in those movies.
He goes groovy baby or whatever the hell he says.
He does say that.
Yeah,
but
I know what I'm talking about.
No, okay, that's a stretch. That is a stretch. All right, let's get on out of here. I probably should head home, but you guys close this out because this is your after prom segment. Get me off the screen.
Ryan, get out of here. Yeah, but that'll do it for another edition of the After Prom post-game show. Orioles win again, 6 straight. We'll see if the O's can get a 7th one tomorrow. Would be back-to-back sweeps, which means Kevin's going to do something crazy because we did not plan for this honestly to happen. The Orioles are 6-0 since we said Kevin would eat spicy things after sweeps. So we might see back-to-back sweeps. Fat O's fan says what? Hashtag always blame Rocco. You know the rule. But have a night. We will see you tomorrow. After the game for the Ryan Ripken show. So peace, everyone, and have a night.